Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's episode of Conversations with Conexxus. I'm Linda Toth, Managing Director of Conexxus, and with me I have Gray Taylor, Executive Director of Conexxus. Welcome, Gray.
Well, it's great to be here. Great to be back in the country and healthy and hunkered down in the bunker.
Yeah, in some respects, it seems like it's Groundhog Day all over again. We were kind of in the same boat last year after that little glimmer of hope, and here we are. So as we head into 2022, I wanted to just chat with you today about, what we see, challenges that the industry is going to face. I mean, in some ways, it is Groundhog Day. We're still facing the same challenges. There's probably some new things on the horizon. So I'll just open this up and let's talk about whatever's on your mind.
Well, so I was, I had the good fortune of being able to participate in the NACS annual strategy conference, which is the executive committee spending a couple of days together and really immersive, where I get to talk with CEOs of companies ranging from 3 stores up to 9,000 stores. And NACS does a really good job of regional size style of retail mix. So it's a really great survey of what's going on with these guys from a strategic standpoint. And I have a couple of takeaways that came in. Obviously labor is evergreen. If I look back at the agenda since 2002, we were complaining about labor. That's just never going to go away, as far as we can never get enough of it, and it can't be high enough quality. So the real focus on purpose last week was about supply chain, which is that unsexy thing that really is what keeps us going and makes us profitable, and the supply chain disruptions that we've had over the last 2 years. And, what can we learn from that going forward? And there were some really great takeaways from the CEO class, the CC class, which is, first of all, they get it. Technology and a well-oiled platform is essential to supporting their cultural changes that they're putting in. They're hiring better people. They're hiring people who are more numbers-based, analytical, and they're looking to have that well-oiled platform that delivers the data people need when they need it on a very cost-effective basis. And so there's a lot of frustration in that we don't have those platforms out there. The other thing from that is the understanding that while we were optimizing our supply chain to just in time, like everything, we failed to look at the risk edge cases, the black swans, like pandemic. So, just in time is great until all of a sudden the supply chain has a hiccup, and then there's no just in time. You're just out of luck. And so we've looked at that, and I think you're going to start seeing a lot of emphasis now on how we optimize supply chain, which includes demand forecasting. And working closer with our CPGs and our suppliers to basically let people know, keep the bullwhipping out, because we have this habit of over-ordering and then under-accepting, and, all down through the channel, people are left with too much inventory, too little inventory. And it really means we need to have this well-oiled machine that we want in our own cultures. We need to project it all the way back to that avocado farm. That's an example. And we've been working, you've been working on this with GS1, Donna. And, I told the executive committee, we've got really talented, very enthusiastic people ready to start working on the supply chain. We need the retailers to come in and give us some direction on that. We intuitively know where we should be fixing things, but we need a prioritization on that. So I think for our perspective in Conexxus as a response, that's going to be a focus for us, in 2022. How do we do this? How do we automate bills of lading? How do we finally get away from the DSD problems that we have? A lot of guys are going to self-distribution of DSD because it is so hard to do, and they're finding that it's better for them to do it. So that, I think, is going to be a big thing. Then we came back and we talked about labor. And the mind shift there was not so much, how do we find more labor? One of the EC members stated it best. He said, if it takes me 1,000 hours to do a customer service experience of today, I need to figure out how to do it with 750 hours. Not because I'm trying to eliminate that cost of service. It's that it's just not there anymore. If you look at the demographic data in the United States with the paucity of immigration, We're a shrinking society. The workforce lost 4 million people last year. Guys like me at my age who just said, I'm just going to play golf. I'm not going back to work. And so how do we do more with less? And he explained it by saying, look, I got to get back to that service level through a combination of productivity. In other words, where are people doing tasks that a computer can do this far easier? And hiring better people. And so, and then making things simpler. That was another big theme. We have a lot of complexity in our stores because that's the way we've always done it. And so I think the watchword coming out of there is a mix of technology and best practices. We need to go through our organizations and look where people are holding onto big pieces of paper. We need to take a look at information flow and see where information is being held up because somebody needs to visually analyze it to put it in. And then we need to question why a person needs to be involved in that. Is it something that we can automate? And we need to embrace robotic process automation where appropriate. And that's a really cool thing. It allows us to test out whether there is juice with that lemon that we're about to squeeze. And if there is, then we can come in and put in a permanent automation fix. So I think we're going to see a lot of focus on that. And again, that's focused on the back door. The other big theme was the metaverse. We talked about that a lot, and it's an overused term. But the need, and the big chains get it, and the small chains are frustrated by it. How do you project your store digitally? So if you're a large chain, 10,000 stores, 5,000 stores, you can do whatever you want to. The EC is also comprised of mid and small guys, and they're like, well, it's great you guys talk about all this sort of stuff, but I can't do any of this stuff. And that speaks to the work that we're doing with standards. Optimally for the smaller guys, the smaller retailers, the plug and play capabilities that come from standards at first and then, actual integration, it should reduce the cost of doing integrations of digital stuff to our stores to a level where even the smallest person should be able to pick and choose who their vendor is going to be because they don't have IT departments. They don't have contractors working for them. And so I think our task going forward is how do we make it easier for the mid-sized guys to take advantage of technology and compete on the technology space? But the industry needs in its entirety, though, is how do we represent the industry to the digital space? Right now, as Lori Stillman, can show through her videos, you can stand in front of an ATM at a convenience store and ask Siri where the nearest ATM is, and it'll direct you to a bank, not to turn around and use the ATM behind you. Same with coffee, same with pizza, same with propane. So we need to, as an industry, work together to figure out how we can get what we do on a per site basis projected into the digital space so we can even be found. Because as we've talked about in the past, the future of commerce is going to be voice. It's going to be while I'm on the go. And if we can't enumerate the data qualities that these voice search engines are looking for, we're going to be passed by. So those were the big overarching themes. And my takeaway was that at every one of them was a capable technology capability and knowledge, which was the endorsement of what we do here at Conexxus.
Yeah,
we got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work to do, and the executive committee knows it, and they're looking to us to and they appreciate the work that we've been doing, and they're looking for us to take the lead in moving the industry in that direction.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to that. I think 2022 is going to be a very busy year for us at Conexxus and our members. So great. It was great chatting with you today. Thank you for your time, and we'll see everybody next time. Bye.
Yeah, everybody have a great start to the year.